Hello, guys. Welcome back to Crypto Deep Dive. This is your host, Mehdi Farouk, Senior Investment Analyst at Token Metrics. Guys, today we have something different, something unique. So instead of doing a deep dive on a crypto project, I thought I should share my thoughts on the whole crypto gaming sector and my investment thesis on how the whole crypto gaming landscape will play out in the short run to perhaps in the long run. So how will some of the different elements of the landscape will play out will be the key focus of my thesis today. So let's just jump in. So first, I'm gonna define how crypto has kind of revolutionized gaming. So we are entering into a new era where crypto, NFTs, and blockchain, what they're trying to do is they're trying to financialize enjoyment. So in-game experiences we are going towards a direction where these experiences could be financialized, which is a very powerful concept. So let's just decode this one by one, right? So what do I mean by financializing enjoyment? So firstly, you combine the enjoyment associated with gaming, and then through different crypto verticals like DeFi, NFTs, and blockchain, you try to basically earn money through these mechanisms. So you have in-games economy, you have your own achievements, and you have your own identity. So imagine you are a knight in a war-based game, and your knight has basically spawned a new civilization based on different wars and how you have performed in that war, and you have a marketplace within the civilization that you have spawned, and you can earn tokens based on how that economy does. Now, similarly, you can have certain in-game achievement. Let's say you have a new sword or you have a new armor. You can financialize it. You can sell it uh, either in exchange for the in-game currency, or you can take it to another marketplace and sell it and get some other crypto currency. Now, not only you can sell in-game items, but you can also sell your character and your in-game based lands, and this will be classified as the identity. You can even try to financialize this. So kind of DeFi, NFT, blockchain, they can facilitate your ability to financialize your effort, your enjoyment, your achievement within the game. Not only that, you have within the gaming finance division, you also have crypto component where you can increase competition amongst players, right? So you have two players, they both assign certain crypto currency within a vault. It could be in-game currency, it could be some external currency, and they said, you know what, we are going to compete based on our skills, and whoever wins the battle amongst these two players will basically win the whole vault. Not only that, you can also have certain composability element on top of that. So you can have two players competing against each other, but then you also have betting going on in background where, let's say, different people bet on which player is going to win, and they can bet on different components of the game. Let's say player A wins, or player A wins with the big margin, small margin. Player A wins through basically killing the player B brutally, or by murdering it, or whatever. So you can also have composability in terms of betting and competition in terms of different layers of uh, different layers of betting on top of it. So this is also very interesting. And not only that, you can also have a solid record in terms of NFTs, where all the gaming assets you have, those can be verifiable over the blockchain, and you can also transfer these assets from one blockchain to another and take advantage of the marketplace for trading. So all in all, this sounds very interesting, and this is a big thumbs up for me. I think this is the future. Now, it doesn't stop there. Since financializing enjoyment is such a vast sector, in my opinion, you'd also have emergence of different layers. So you have games itself. So over here, you can see you have Axie Infinity and you have Alien Worlds, for example, right? But you can also have different elements to it, right? There will be some components which act in background to kind of facilitate this gameplay, right? So you have Ethereum, Solana, Flow, Affinity. These are all the blockchains on which these games are built on. Then even before we build this deploy this game on a blockchain, you also need studios and toolkits that kind of help you do the game development, do the graphic designing, and basically facilitating the game mechanics. So that's done in studios and toolkits. So you have those three elements, which are the key elements, but then you also seek some kind of other elements building, which are also separate from the game, but also facilitate the gaming, right? So you have launchpads. So with launchpad, let's say you're an investor, you want to invest in an upcoming up booming game, uh, and you want to do it before it gets listed on an exchange. You can go on a launchpad. Launchpad will have its own native tokens. You can basically stake those tokens and basically based on that win the auction of 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 some of the games that you want to purchase. So when I say purchase games, I mean gaming tokens. On top of that, you also have guilds and aggregators. So aggregators are platforms which aggregate 10, 20, 30, or maybe more games in one platform. So you have all the game selection in one platform. And then you have guilds. So guilds are, as I said that in my previous slide, let me just go back, right? So crypto components will increase competition among players in betting, and players will have unfair advantage if they have NFTs and they already have in-game assets. So what guild will do is those investors which have a lot of money and NFTs and gaming tokens, and there will be some players who won't have these assets but they have the time and the capability, but the investor does not have the time. So they'll match the gamer who has the time and investor who doesn't have the time but has the resources together, earn a commission, and basically allow the transfer on a rent basis or lease basis some of the in-game assets from investors to these gamers, and give yield to the investors, and while the gamers will be able to have these assets which they can use in game in crypto games to earn more cryptocurrencies and earn more NFTs, and based on that they take profit from the gamers and take commission from the investors and sustain the guild. So they'll deploy scholarships for players, and they'll also try to onboard different investors to kind of facilitate this mechanism. So you can kind of see a broad emergence of a gaming ecosystem, and it's a sign that crypto gaming is here to stay, and it's up and coming and booming sector in my opinion. So what are my views, right? I think you have this upcoming boom in the gaming sector, but it's very important to have different views in terms of different time horizons. And I want to explore that and just share some of my views of how I feel about this boom in the gaming, uh, crypto gaming sector. Uh, on Twitter, I found this tweet, which basically says that if you look at the equity side of crypto, not equity side of crypto, equity side of gaming industry, the CEOs and big CEOs of gaming studio are basically saying they're very excited about blockchain, and every single one of them thinks it's the future of the industry, but they still are a bit confused on why it's the future. For me, it's future because you're able to financialize gaming, but they're still exploring that. But I think one thing they'll come to the conclusion is going forward, NFTs, crypto, blockchain will become a prerequisite, will become absolutely necessary for all the gaming to basically extract as much value and as much competition and as much as enjoyment element of the game financialized that they could. So in short run, I think all the games that have crypto element will do really well, and this is what we are seeing recently. But there is also kind of an irony in this situation, right? So gamers have already started asking questions: why don't they own the in-game assets? And the irony of the situation is, since other game studios are exploring NFTs, DeFi, and crypto, and then you also have gamers who have started to ask this question: why do not I own these gaming assets? And how can I be compensated for my hard work in the game? So I believe uh, this is bullish in the short run, that, okay, you have game studios that want to incorporate crypto, and you have gamers who want to have crypto within their games. So these are both bullish signs, but there's also a bearish sign for the long run. So this is what I call the irony of the situation. I believe in the long run, having crypto, NFT, and play to earn mechanics of the game would not be enough for the gaming industry and would not be enough for crypto games. So play to earn mechanics is where you play a game, and just by playing game with other players or through interacting with the environment within the game, you earn native crypto of a gaming token. So I believe this P2E dynamic, especially if a game just focuses on the P2E element of the game, of the crypto gaming, I think that game might not do well in the long run. And I think even in medium run, P2E mechanics won't be enough. Let me just explore why, right? So at the moment, you have games that will have inflationary token emission to kind of bootstrap their gaming network. And in order to bootstrap the network, they'll incentivize players to join their games, even though the games are bad. They don't have good graphics, they don't have good gameplay, but they will still tell gamers to come to their platform and play the game. And in order to do that, they'll issue them free tokens, like tokens from up high in the sky, basically dropped on your lap. And for me, this is kind of similar to some of the poor DeFi protocol that gives you appeal and allure of high APY. But then these protocols are so poor in the long run that they basically collapse. So it's kind of like a Ponzi scheme where those who enter early, they can make money out of it, but those who enter late basically take the whole brunt of the problem. So the problem is, initially, these games will do really well because they'll use inflationary token. You can earn money, and then eventually, when the token emission dries out, what will happen? Because the supply of the tokens in the long run is finite, right? So this is where the P2E game problem lies. I believe it is similar to some of the poor DeFi protocol. That initially has a high APY, gradually the APY starts to decline, and eventually the token collapses. And another element for me, especially since I'm also a gamer, and I've also spoken with game psychologists and even game economists, they believe um, joy and addiction for gaming comes from unexpected and randomized elements within the game and rewards. So if a player is just focusing to play the game with the focus that, oh, I'm playing to earn money and earn money and earn money, but the joy and the addiction of the gaming comes from random, unexpected, randomized rewards. So will the player be able to play the game sustainably? And on top of that, if you also add the element that in the long run, the token emission, the inflationary token they get, will dry out, I think I think the picture is bleak, especially if the game is just focusing on P2E element. However, that said, I believe in the short run, maybe perhaps to medium run. So I will define it as period between next 6 months to 1.5 year. I believe P2E games, even those P2E games that have horrible gameplay, horrible game mechanics, and horrible graphics, will still do really well if they just implement P2E element within their games and incorporate some DeFi and incorporate some NFT. And there are a few reasons, right? The first reason is, as you can see over here, these games are quick to market, so they don't have to spend years, multiple years, which is actually required to perfect the gameplay, to perfect the graphics. And if you know AAA studios, they spend a lot of time doing the designing of the characters and stuff like that in order to perfect the game. But these games do not care. They don't have to do all of that. They'll just deploy a smart contract and just include some kind of Ponzi-nomics, and they'll be quick to the market. And since at the moment the market is hot regarding crypto gaming, because the market at the moment is still trying to absorb this trend and theme, they'll do well, and we're already seeing some signs of it. When the game launches, it does 5x, 6x, sometimes 30x, just because game is hungry for this kind of innovation. Not only that, you'll also see native crypto users uh, kind of starting the network effect for these games. So for them, I feel like this in-game awards P2E mechanics is a bit similar to DeFi yield farming. So flipping NFTs, staking in-game airdrops, and trying to speculate on which game assets will basically be the next 10x, 20x investments. will lead them to basically participate in these networks willingly or unwillingly, just because they want to make money. So at the moment, you'll see a lot of these network effects, because some of the people from traditional DeFi yield farming will uh, jump to this trend, and this network effect, I think, in the long run will be false. In the short run, it will be just in one of those profit opportunity for these DeFi users. Apart from that, I mentioned earlier what gaming guilds are. So gaming guilds like Merit Circle and YGG, they have exploded at the moment, and they give gamers scholarship to kind of play the game and earn gaming rewards and NFTs. But I believe this gaming network effect of this gaming of this P2E gaming will initially remain very strong. It will be very, very strong. However, gradually the earning of these guilds and revenue of the P2E gamings will decline. And I'm 100% sure of that, because initially the games are bootstrapping the network because of inflationary token supply, which over the period of time will reduce, and eventually in few years will basically die out. So these gaming guilds will struggle to have maintained revenues, right? So once they stop maintaining revenues and investors ask them questions that we basically invested so much, and you're not basically giving us our money back, this gaming guilds will become very selective, and basically some of the games we are kind of seeing explode now might stop. So I think you could see at the moment, because of DeFi farming narrative being translated into gaming and quick to market strategy being very well in the short run, but in long run I think these things will fail. So I've coined a term at Token Metrics. The term I've coined over here is called P2J. So what is P2J? P2J is play to joy first. So this is my thesis. I think in the long run and even in the medium run, those games that have interesting gameplay, have good graphics, and have the ability within the gaming mechanics to produce joy will give a crypto game advantage in the long run. I believe after 3 years, nearly all the games will have some element of DeFi, NFT, blockchain in it. And in order to differentiate themselves, games will still have to go back to the drawing board and focus on the fundamentals. And for games, the key fundamental is to give players joy. So I think if you want to invest within the gaming sector for the long run, find games that you believe players will find joy. And on top of that, it has NFT, DeFi, and play to earn features. So not only you are financializing the joy, but the joy element is so high that you can financialize and extract so much value that's unprecedented and will keep giving you return over the long run. So for me, crypto games at the moment, this is also advice for some of the people who are kind of builders of crypto gaming industry. They should focus on this element, the joy element, rather than trying to copy and become the next Xe Infinity. Uh, so I'll show in the next graph that Xe Infinity revenue at the moment is declining, and the main allure of the gaming should be combination of unique tokenomics, addictive gameplay, and P2E. So it's not just pure Ponzi-nomics, in my opinion. And obviously, this takes time. So if there is a game that tells me that, you know what, I'm going to release after 3-4 years and I'll have crypto element, I'm more than happy to invest in those games, because for me, joy comes first and earning comes later for the long run success of a game. So you can see from a graph over here, this is Xe Infinity revenue. So P2E and narrative took off. The revenue basically exploded, but now see, revenue is declining over the period of time. And this is what I want to tell gamers, investors, as well as new protocols that are building. P2E element can only sustain for so long. So you have to focus on the P2J element, which is play to joy. Yeah, so there are certain. So we did market mapping in Token Metrics, and we scored some games that we believe capture both the play to earn element and play to J element. So some of the games we think that capture this, and what I've done is I've only focused on those games that are upcoming and they haven't been released yet. So investors are early on this board. So I have decimated over here, Sidus, Rise Online, Big Time Studios, and Farway. And for some of the games, I'm going to show you the trailer to kind of help you appreciate what I'm talking about. Another quick filter I have for gamings that just focuses on P2E elements. and just do not follow the P2J thesis I have, is basically avoid games that end with Mon, War, and Poly. So Mon, they're trying to copy Pokemon. You have Poly, Monopoly. There's some of the games that are trying to copy that, and you have some games that basically want to copy any war game out there, right? So if you're trying to invest in the game, it ends with one of these three things: Mon, War, or Poly. Just be very careful, in my humble opinion. Uh, but that being said, I'm just gonna show you some trailers of some of the games that I am bullish on and Token Metrics scored highly. I might not be able to cover all of it, so I'm just going to focus on some of them, and hopefully you guys like it. Let me quickly share my screen. So the first game will be Decimated. So I'm just going to play the trailer over here. So this is the type of game I'm talking about, right? You have amazing graphics, you have unique 3D, good graphics, good gameplay, and you have open world dynamics. And on top of that, you also have P2E elements and crypto elements. And I'm very impressed by this game's graphic. And you kind of see that this game is already in alpha mode. So this is one of the ideas in the future I'm looking forward to, and potentially becoming investors. Although this is not financial advice. And yeah, it just looks brilliant, right? It just looks like I'm playing on one of those PlayStation 4 Xbox games, right? Yeah, the graphic looks amazing. Yeah, the gameplay is amazing. Yeah, and I can imagine owning some of these things as NFTs and advertising over there. Yeah, another game I'm bullish on is Sidus. So I don't have a trailer for you guys over here. So I'm gonna basically just play it live with you over here. So even this game over here has amazing graphics. I'm having trouble walking because I'm doing the game play as well as uh, kind of speaking with you. So what it does is it has good graphics, but then it also kind of um, copies the element of Xe Infinity. So let me just quickly go over here and fight with these guys. So yeah, I'm gonna fight with these guys now. Yeah, let's get started. So you can see, like, I can imagine having fun with this game. It has very good graphics, and then it also kind of captures some Xe Infinity, so you have less market risk with these type of games. Uh, but yeah, like, this is fun. Oh, I killed him. Yeah. Another game is Rise Online. This game is based on AVEX ecosystem, and the trailer looks amazing. And I feel like this can also kind of capture the gameplay I was talking about. Yeah, if the gameplay is like this is amazing, right? It's high quality AAA graphics, and it's based on v- the war thesis and mythology and stuff like that. So I can kind of see it having a lot of network effect going forward. But yeah, amazing graphics. I can see it, player versus environment, player versus player. Yeah, it looks fun. And you can equip your player with different NFTs, which can represent war, armor, and stuff like that. So another game I think can do really well. Another game is Big Time. This also, I feel like it has the potential to really well. I can feel like a lot of people playing this game and having fun with it, and also has a strong decentralization element to this crypto game as well, in terms of ownership of some of the in-game assets and game dynamics. So yeah, these are like some of the games I think you should uh, look into. So guys, hopefully you loved my presentation, and you loved the thesis I had for gaming sector going forward. And I've also mentioned some of the names that we think can do well. So yeah, do let me know if you have any questions, and until next time.